Thank you for spending some time with Grow this afternoon. I'm Jennifer Pasqua. I'm going to serve sort of as the liaison and trying to facilitate this conversation that we know is going to be very engaging because our guest today, Veverly Austin. And if you don't know Veverly, let me tell you what, she is a powerhouse and she is full of more energy than one can imagine. But I'm really loving the topic today: rebuild, reclaim, and restock. Clearly, things are beginning to open up here in Michigan, and so yet another pivot for most of us as we begin this journey of getting back to what now can be something better. And positivity sending your way is Veverly Austin. And Veverly, go ahead and let's go ahead. And actually, you know what, before you start, just a reminder, and I see that everybody is muted. Keep it muted if you could so that we can make sure there's no technical interruptions. And if you do have questions, I invite you to put them in the comments in this chat portion of this Zoom call, and we'll be sure to alert Veverly as you are asking those questions. So Veverly, go ahead.
Thank you so much, Jen. I'm so excited to just present this morning, and thank you to Grow for asking me to just come be a part of this amazing series that they have going on through this crazy pandemic that we've been going through. So a part of, I love teaching, and specifically during the pandemic has been absolutely amazing for me. I've been really helping a lot of small business owners to really keep their mental stamina through it all. And so I know that Grow provides a ton of classes and information on getting more money and accessing more capital and so forth. And so I am going to just help this morning with a little bit more information, just how to build your mental stamina to be able to really endure reopening and starting with this new normal. And so change is the new norm. And so when I'm talking to people, I'm saying, well, the new norm is change. And if you're not willing to change, you would not survive this new normal. And so as we're talking about reopening and what does this mean for my business now, the key now is change. And so if we're going to thrive and if we're going to really progress as we're reopening, we have to have a mindset of change. And so I've been telling people, you want to go back into reopening and think of this as a new startup. So really shift your mind into thinking about when you first started up, think about this as you're starting brand new. And so my name is Veverly Austin, and I am a small business owner. I do have a virtual online boutique. I've had it now going on 6 years. I'm so excited. And so I have an online boutique, and I also have Veverly Austin Enterprises, where I did a lot of traveling and speaking and training leaders and training women and empowering women. And when the pandemic happened, all of that came to a halt. And so I had to really start rethinking and reimagining to figure out, what do I do with my business to keep it thriving when it seems like the world has stopped? So you are not in this alone. So I'm just going to share some tips that I did gain and that were very beneficial for me. I'm so blessed to say that my clothing business actually increased through the pandemic. And so, but it pushed me to rethink, reimagine, and I really had to restock. And so one of the things that we're talking about today is how do I build myself and fortify myself to be able to get creative again, to get new ideas, and to relook at my business. And so I have a quote, and I love it, from Zig Ziglar. It says, "I believe that being successful means having a balance of success stories across the many areas of your life. You cannot truly be considered successful in your business life if your home life is in shambles." And so I have helped. I actually, I have a gentleman, he actually passed away in COVID. And it was actually, unfortunately, through suicide. Because when COVID first started, the heaviness and the hopelessness of losing business and not knowing what to do, people started to panic. And so if you're here and you're ready to reopen your business, or you're even maybe a little bit uncertain, I just want to applaud you for surviving and making it through, because it is going to get better. So I just want to talk first about, I'm going to give you some keys this morning. We're going to talk about 6 keys, 6 success keys to just help you to sustain yourself as you're reopening and getting back into business. And some of you, I may have been able to stay open through this entire time. Your mental health. Our mental health is so key. And this is undervalued and under-talked about many times, especially for business owners. And so we want to pay attention to our mental health, because our mental health is just as vital as finding our next clients. Oh my. And so self-employed businesses are one of the most vulnerable in society. We have to work hard, we constantly learn, and we have to constantly adapt and reinvent while also managing our personal lives. And that's not, so today is even stronger on us, because we had to manage our personal lives through COVID, and now even through this racial crisis that we're experiencing across the world. And so when I'm talking about this mental, we really want to make sure we take time to invest in you. You want to make sure that even though you're trying to figure things out with your business, you're at your freshest and your mind is at its best when you take time to refresh and invest in you. So invest in yourself. Self-awareness. You want to know your limits. You want to really become in tune with yourself and know your limits. You want to use time to, and I'm sure many did, we were reading through the pandemic, and some even were taking courses, but it's not too late if you didn't get to do those to still do that. So many online courses that we can take. And you want to just take time to read, to take courses, and to continue your learning. Connect with other entrepreneurs. This is probably one of the most refreshing and rewarding things that you can do right now. And what I love is, in a time of pandemic, it has really brought communities together. And so people now are less competitive and actually more community minded and willing to help each other, because this all affected all of us at the same time. So find you a circle of other entrepreneurs to connect to bounce ideas off of, to find out what they're doing. And this is also a part of that refreshing and that mental refreshing to help keep yourself vibrant and alive and looking forward. Hey, your imagination, number 2, your imagination and your creativity is necessary right now more than ever. If you believe you can do it, you can really, really do it. And I know that sounds so simple, but your creativity, you want to be able to find a way to unlock the creative juices and the creative ideas inside of you. Because as we're going to go down in one of our other points, you're going to have to relook at your business. You're going to have to relook at your strategies. You're going to have to relook at the way you've always been doing things. And you're going to have to come up with some fresh new ideas. So creativity empowers innovation. It helps you with your problem solving, and it even helps you as you relook at your vision for your company. And one of the other key things that I want to say is that one of the things that really helps to inspire creativity is meditation. This is super and now we have beautiful sunshine. I got up this morning and I just sat and I just meditated, and I got I got an aha moment just looking up at the trees. And so I'm encouraging people to go for a walk, go outside, enjoy the sun, enjoy the air. But one key thing I tell people to do, and this really helps with creativity, is when you go outside and you walk, I challenge you to look up. You say, look up. Yes, be intentional and make your eyes look up. Look up at the sky. Look up at the trees. You would be surprised at how much when we're walking and outside, we look down. And so there's something about looking up and just enjoying the nature. It really does help to spark creativity. And journal. I have a think journal. I call it my idea journal. And this is when I'm meditating. I put all of my ideas in one space. Some of those ideas may be for now, some may be for later. But because of my journal, I can tell you this. I had an idea to do some affirmation cards. I had the idea 2 years ago. Well, during COVID, so many of my business friends and business associates, because some of them were down, some of them were depressed, it was time for me to develop my affirmation cards. And these affirmation cards, I targeted those who have businesses and entrepreneurs. And when I tell you I launched my affirmation cards, in the pandemic, I cannot keep up. I am now on my 5th reorder of my affirmation cards, and I'm so excited. But this came from my idea journal that I keep in my time of meditation. So journaling is really, really profound, especially as a business owner, because it really gives you a space to dump and to actually even go back to in times of panic like we were just in.
So I'm going to ask if there's anybody that has any questions. I know Veverly has shared quite a few tips. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat. 2 things I just want to pop in there and piggyback on what Veverly said. The meditation, just so you know, if you haven't heard, the state of Michigan is allowed to use Headspace. It's an app called Headspace. It's free. Governor Whitmer, she was able to make that happen. So if you log on, give your address, you can use Headspace for free, which is a great meditation app. Secondly, Veverly, there's something that you said that really kind of queued this question up. You talk about reaching out to other entrepreneurs. Obviously, Grow is a great resource. Do you have a couple other that are musts that you want to do or share with people as to where they can connect with these other entrepreneurs? Do you have any groups you'd like to suggest from Facebook, or maybe groups that you are affiliated with that is a good way for people who are on the call to get connected?
Well, what I would say specifically, at this point, I would say you want to connect with social media groups on Facebook specifically that are particular, I would say, to your field. Okay. I think that would be very helpful in trying to come up with ideas. And so I would say to start there first. I am in some boutique groups on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And so I get a lot of ideas from there. I actually watch some of the most successful ones. I watch when they posted during the pandemic. I watched some of the ways they were shifting in the pandemic. I got some of my mailing tools from them in the pandemic. So find a group, I would say right now specifically, that is very specific to your area of business that you're in.
Okay. And Celine is asking that later on, if you can, to go ahead and share the link for those cards, those affirmation cards. I think she's interested. So
yes, VeverlyAustin.com. Right on. Okay. Everything is there. One hub, VeverlyAustin.com.
All right. I'll have you continue on, Veverly.
All right. And so thank you so much. I love this. I love Q&A. So rethinking your identity of your business and the opportunities. Focus on caring, engaging, and adapting. You will be able to see opportunity in danger. And so during this early period of our reopening, we as business owner, we have to face the challenge and we have to tap into our customers and we have to pay attention to their new behavior and we have to get ready for their new behavior. Many of our customers will not start off with the same consumer behavior as before we went into this pandemic. So here's the first thing as you're getting to know your customer, as you're rethinking your opportunities. The first thing I want you to do is to commit to not going backwards. That has to be the first thing. You want to commit to not going backwards. So you want to take apart and you want to sit and take a time, if you haven't done it already, to look at your goals. If you had all goals, you should now have a space where you're rewriting your goals. So re-looking at your goals, you want to focus on your team. You want to make sure if you have employees that you are bringing your teams into this goal setting scenario. And you want to absolutely relook at your structure. And so, but one of the key things is we have to rethink who we are, how we work, and how we want to grow. We have to rethink this as a business. We want to rethink who we are, how we work, and how we want to grow. So we want to relook at our entire model of our business. So no matter how many employees that you have, we have to relook. We have to take a moment and relook at how we're structured. And I said this in the beginning. You want to go back and look at your business with a startup mindset. because this is new. Remember, we're not going back to the way things were. Change is our new normal. So this helps me to do some more research. I have to research what's new in my area of business. What's happening? What changes have you made? What are my competitors doing? And I will look at your competitors who are doing it well. This is one thing that I tell business owners is you should always be looking at someone in your industry and so who is doing it well. Okay. So then you want to brainstorm. You have to have time to brainstorm. So as you're pulling apart and looking at the structure of the way your business is currently, you want to have a brainstorming session. And so if you are the sole proprietor and you are the owner, then you want to make sure that you're sitting. And this is where your entrepreneurial circle will be very beneficial. Set up some time with them to have brainstorming sessions after you've looked at your structure and then you've assessed how you want to grow. Have a brainstorming session with others that you come into relationship with to really try to get some ideas on what I can begin to do differently. Here's one of the key things, and when I did this over COVID, I am blown away at the new customers one of the benefits of, and a lot of small businesses, one of the benefits of social media, and one of the strong benefits of engaging in social media is you have the opportunity to get into communities and access new customers. And so I tell people all the time, I say, no matter what your business is, you want to get active. You want to get into the social media culture because that is one of the best ways to make your brand known. And right now is one of the best ways to let the community know that you care. And so this is your time to get active, and you want to look at all of your social media. So you want to look at your website. You want to look at your Facebook page. And I'm hoping that if you're a business that Instagram for business is probably much pertinent than even Facebook. Facebook is absolutely outstanding for your groups. But Instagram, if you do not have an Instagram as a business, I encourage you to let that be one of the things that you rethink because it will absolutely expose you and put you in the face of new customers. Now let's talk about your existing customers. If you have not engaged with them over the pandemic, it is not too late to start. Reach out to them. Do a questionnaire. I have a business, and I stayed with this business literally because they sent me 2 emails to just say how I was doing. Now, I know that this was probably a mass email, but the email was written so personally, and it came at critical times, and I've kept them as one of my vendors simply because they checked in on me through the pandemic. So as a business owner, guess what that prompted me to do? I drafted an email and sent it to all of my clients. I sent it to all of my boutique clients and even the clients that I did my leadership training with or that I would travel to speak with. I made sure that I sent messages of concern during this pandemic. This will really set you apart. So I'm hoping that that's one of the things that you relook at as a business owner is checking in and connecting with your customers. And so we're talking about opportunity. How do I identify opportunity? So we just said it. You're going to check in on your customers. You want to find out what is their new buying needs? What are their concerns? What are their concerns? Do they plan on coming back in the store? If they don't plan on coming in the store, then we have to, do they plan on shopping online? So you really want to draft some type of survey to start understanding this new behavior of your existing customers. Then you're going to get into social media because this is going to help you tap into new customers. Here's one thing that's really amazing. If you do not have social media, or you do, and your social media only speaks to your product, right now, people are very caring. Our whole entire community wants to care for each other. So I encourage you on your social media, don't just talk about your product. Talk about issues that are happening in your community. So that is going to be one of the next things is how can you connect as a business owner and give back in your community? It doesn't always have to be monetary, because we know that some of us may be in a tight position or in a tight space with product, but I can give back with my caring words. I can give back by proposing conversations, or I can give back by simply, I can partner with, here's something that was very creative. I can partner with someone who's doing a Zoom on Facebook Live. I can let my business sponsor that conversation and just give away one free product. So these are some of the creative ways we're talking about having brainstorming sessions. How can I get my business now into new spaces? So my community give back. I want to check in on my customers. I have to check in and find out how are they doing, so I can help to identify their new purchasing patterns. And so we want to do those things. So we all become more human when we've gone through pain. We do. And we all become more deeply connected when we suffer together. And this is where I say businesses have an advantage, because the businesses and the customers have suffered together. And so we don't want to come off emotionless as business owners. We want to connect to the emotion of our customers. It will keep them coming back easier, and it will keep them coming back much more often, especially during this time. I myself, I was very intentional for small business owners to buy some things, even some things that I didn't need, just because of the connection that I had, the personal connection with some of those businesses. So personal connection goes a long way. So here's what you want to do. You want to make sure you're drafting some emails. If you didn't do this through the pandemic, I want to see you do this today. Draft an email today. We're reopening. You want to let your customers know you're reopening. You want to let them know what safety measures you have in place. You want to let them know how excited you are to see them. And you want to let them know if they don't feel safe coming back in your store, that they can connect with you online. So you may say, well, my online store isn't quite ready yet. This is where Facebook can be your friend. So if your online store or your website is not quite where you want it to be, this is where you absolutely can benefit from going hard or just really going very intensely with your Facebook page. And so you can push them to your Facebook page, and you can leave a message of encouragement to them daily, or leave a message saying, we care for you, or this is where you can be so personable, but we want to make sure that we're connecting to their emotion, and this is where your Facebook page can be key.
Let's see if anyone has any questions. If you do, go ahead and put it on the side. We've shared the links to what you've previously asked for. Let me get your take on this, Veverly. I've noticed that LinkedIn has also become quite popular over the pandemic as well. Would you recommend people really kind of go back if they haven't and update their information there?
I absolutely do. And the only reason I didn't put LinkedIn in is because I love LinkedIn. And so LinkedIn for me has been a very excellent source for connecting peer-to-peer for me specifically. And even in letting people know what I have to offer and gaining new resources and gaining partnerships and collaborations. So absolutely you want to go to LinkedIn. And so that's something key that you must keep up. And so, but here's the key you want to decide is, do you want to do a personal LinkedIn, or do you want to do it just for your business? And so that comes with a little bit of different level of conversation. But right now during this pandemic, I would definitely say if you have a LinkedIn, update it very detailed on LinkedIn, and also put in there what are some you want to. I've seen there's a lot of certifications for the safety of your business, and you want to make sure you put those in your LinkedIn, put those updates on there, and have those conversations on only. I love LinkedIn because this is a great way to you want to get new businesses. You need what's the word I'm looking for? You need to buy things. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but you want to buy things this is a great way for people to see, oh, there's another small business. And so you can do some of your ads. I do great business ads on LinkedIn. And they work amazing, especially right now where people are looking to help small businesses. And so that is a great community to do that.
That's a good point. Absolutely. And I know I follow you on LinkedIn, and, it gives people the opportunity to see you as that expert in the field that you're in. So, highly recommended. All right. Continue on, Veverly, if you can.
Okay. And so we're going to go next to, so we're talking about, so one of the key things that I've really been talking to people is you cannot expect your customers to just return to you. You have to be very intentional about going after them. And when you're going after them, you're going after them with this emotional connection. And I'm telling you, it's going to make the difference in your customer. Okay, so remember that we're all in this together. So your customer is a little bit anxious, you're a little bit anxious. And so be honest with that. But we're in this together. And so we're excited to see your face again. And so making sure you do that. So do all of your updates and make sure you intentionally connect with your customers. And now we want to go to number 6. Number 6 is mental toughness. You want to have mental toughness that lasts. And so this is where I tell people, they say, are you serious? I say, yes, trust your intuition. What in the world is that? Well, as women entrepreneurs, we all aspire to succeed and we want to enjoy freedom of life. So the specifics of our whys may vary, but for the most part, the end game is all the same. And that's to have a healthy, happy, impactful life. And so your superpower of intuition, it would allow you to make great decisions every single day. And so I call it a superpower. And so this superpower of my intuition, it not only helps me to make better decisions, but it is a valuable success tool to help me experience more prosperity in my business and even in my personal life, okay? So I believe you need to tap into your intuition to achieve your highest levels of success. Well, what is intuition? It's my inner knowing. It's that hunch that you get. It's that wisdom from within. It's that thing inside that says, you should move now. You should send the email, or you should shift, or you should change this, or maybe you shouldn't order so many of that this month. And so it's that inner voice. And so I want to encourage you to trust your intuition. The more you listen to your inner voice, the more you'll see things, I'm telling you, it'll really begin to turn for the better for your business. So people who are extraordinarily successful have mastered this art. And you may call it trusting your gut. So listen to this. Oprah Winfrey, billionaire and media mogul. Oprah says that she always trusted her gut for her business decisions. In a recent magazine, in one of the magazines, she said, for all the major moves in my life, from Baltimore to Chicago to my show and to ending it, I trusted my instincts. I take in all the information that I gather. We're talking about that journal. I take in all the information. I listen to all the proposals and ideas and advice. Then I go with what my gut is telling me to do. Steve Jobs, bless his soul. Steve Jobs trusted his gut when he went against the norm and led Apple to run this amazing, sophisticated system. The iPhone, oh my goodness. It was reported that when he was alive, he had over billions of dollars in iPhones. He trusted his gut. And Beyonce, listen to this. Beyonce trusted her gut and changed the game for artists way back in 2013. With her self-titled surprise album, Beyonce, she had a gut intuition that told her to do that. And when she did it, she sold over 430 copies in just one day alone when she launched online. But this was something that she did from her gut. So building wealth and running our businesses is more than just selling products. And it's more than just getting customers. We must trust our gut and we must connect to the people that we serve as small business owners. So I want to end with this last thing here. How do I get to the place where I know how to trust my gut? We talked about meditation. And this is so good for our health also. And so we don't want to let the worry of reopening, take a toll on our bodies. So solitude and meditation helps me to become in tune with my inner voice. When you go into solitude and meditation, go in with the expectation that your inner voice will kick in. Go in and expecting it. Go in and looking for it. And take your journal with you to your meditation. I am huge on journaling because I really believe that what you write can become real in your life. So you want to take your journal into your meditation. And so when you do this and you have this time, you become in tune with who you are. You begin to have ideas that begin to fall into your mind. And as you do this, you can have this meditation and you can take them into your circles, take them into your entrepreneurial circles and begin to bounce them off of others. And then we're going to end with this, number 6, restock. Most people thought I was saying restock your store. No, I was saying to restock your thoughts. If we can control our thinking and control our thought patterns as business owners, we can face the ups and downs, the ebb and flows that are inevitable as we reopen due to the new behavior patterns that will exist and due to the new norms and all of the stipulations. I'm talking to people that are stressed out because of the limitations of people that can come in stores and the way they had to redo their restaurants, and all of this can be very stressful. So I say you must restock your thoughts, keep an open mind, and stay positive. The world is very scary. Eventually things are going to get better, but they are not going to return to the normal as we know, but they're going to return to our new normal. So entrepreneurship is full of challenges, and it's always been that way. So this is no different. So approach it like you've approached any other roadblock that you've encountered as you started your business. The fact that you're listening, the fact that you're on here today lets you know that you're up for the challenge, especially if you look through starting your business and the bumps that you've experienced along the way that you may have said, I don't know if my business is going to survive, and you're still standing. So I want to encourage you to stay positive. I want to encourage you to know that you are not in this alone. But more than anything, I want to encourage you to connect with others that are going through this, and you can make it through this together. So that's what I have for today.
Veverly, thank you so much. I don't know about you all who are participating today, but every time I hear Veverly speak, it just kind of gives me chills, and I know that things are going to get better. You have a way of making sure that we realize that. So thank you so much for taking the time. Again, Veverly's email, or actually you could just go on your website, beverlyaustin.com, to get all the information that you need. I saw people jotting notes, and I've had people messaging me directly and chatting with me, and it seems like everybody is getting a lot out of this. And so Veverly, anything else that you just want people to know as we close off?
So as everything that I've said today, you can definitely follow me. I do a lot of different classes, but more than anything, I want you to don't be afraid to do something different in this time with your business. Do not be afraid to pivot. I know you've probably heard that word a lot, but don't be afraid to pivot. But it's a little less scary when you get to pivot with someone. So do not be afraid to collaborate and connect with other small business owners and pivot. There's so many ideas out there that you may not have even thought of. Don't be afraid to try it and fail forward. But whatever you do, pay attention to the buying patterns that are happening now. Don't be afraid to lean into the change that's happening now. It may be scary, but there is some amazing opportunities to the shift that is taking place.